Welcome back. I don't think we need any more of an intro than that. Let's just get straight to the updates. If you didn't finish your update, you got to get back in line. If you have 2.1, you're likely to get 2.2. If you don't, you're probably going to have to wait for 2.1 first, at least for now. The FOA has 2,000 members around. The app is coming soon. Nope, not the current app. The new app. And it's members only. You heard it here first. A service marketplace is launching soon. That's like Q2. T-Mobile ends January 1st for those who are not members, and you can't change your eSIM. And if you're not an Ocean owner or you're looking to buy one, that's all you need to know right now. So now I can talk about why you absolutely need to join the FOA. This may be the most critical time for you to need service, need to have access to parts, be up to date with what's going on with Fisker, and get all the information associated with that. Are there parts? Yes. The parts inventory is looking better. You can order a lot of stuff on the Tsunami website. Water pumps, for one. How fun would it be if you lost the heat in your ocean in, let's say, I don't know, January? That wouldn't be fun. Do you have 2.2? If you don't join the FOA, you probably won't get it, especially in Europe since there's no recall. You will eventually be able to pay people to give you part of it, but the mothership, that Fisker Austria, whatever's left, the OTA team, if you will, has to give you part of 2.2. And in order to get that, you'd have to be connected, which means you'd have to join the FOA. And your T-Mobile is a permanently mated eSIM. Yes, the worst of all worlds. It's an eSIM, so you can't manually do anything with it, and it's permanently mated, which means you can't change it anyway, even if you could. So if you want to go out and get your own service, it would be a very long and challenging process. And since that eSIM is locked up, you'd still have to do it through T-Mobile, and in Europe, some of that is just roaming, so it could be completely impossible to do, if not prohibitively expensive. But we're all about to find out. There's a new app. It replaces the My Fisker app. And if you aren't a member, you won't get it. If you have a partial update of any type, especially a 2.2, and you go dark, that's what you're stuck with. And if you miss the deadline to join, well, you're going to have to pay that reconnection fee that they didn't disclose how much it was going to be yet. And it's looking to be high. More on that in a second. And since you're offline because you didn't join the FOA, the OTA team doesn't know where you are, who you are, or care at all. There are thousands of people who are members of the FOA that don't have 2.2, and they're going to worry about those people. They're definitely not going to worry about when you're reconnected. Is this legal? Is it fair? Yes. It's fair, even if there are questions about the legality of some of it. At the end of the day, the FOA got you a seat at the table during bankruptcy. They got you recalls. They got you free parts. They got you door handles. They got you updates. And most importantly, they got you access to information. And let's not forget the most important one, continued access to the cloud. You would be already bricking at unbelievably high rates if it wasn't for that. They weren't the best at delivering information, but who is? Tesla doesn't have a PR department. Legacy OEMs definitely don't care. In fact, I'm pretty sure if EVs just went away forever, a lot of legacy OEMs might throw a party. The point is, EVs are new, information's hard to get, and the FOA has done an acceptable job, especially considering what resources they've had access to and what people have fought them along the way. If you don't join the FOA and your water pump fails, which if it does, it will be now, it's wintertime, you're stuck dealing with service centers. Is there a line? Is there any other help? Can any other information be had? That's it. Whoever's on the phone at the other end, at the service center that you call, that's it. No other resources for you. And since they themselves are partnering with the FOA, when you ask them what you can do or what's going on, they might ask you, I don't know, why you didn't join. That'll be awkward. I've purposely stayed outside of any internal involvement in the FOA, including but not limited to getting another car, so I can report from a third-party, objective perspective. And I can tell you this, the groups are going dark, the community has all the information, and you lose that if you don't join. The FOA is the only way to get up-to-date help. And there's some really specific stuff that goes wrong with these cars that can be easily diagnosed over the air, and you won't have access to that without that reconnection fee. So the reconnection fee is going to be expensive. You'll have to go to a service center, and remote diagnosis, well, that's just out. Not possible. There are only 2,000 or so members. We have to assume there's a bunch of cars that are unclaimed or unowned at this point, but 2,000 of them or so are owned by American Lease right now, and my math tells me there's like 2,000 to 4,000 people holding on to these cars. The FOA won't tell you because they probably don't know. It's probably hard to get a hold of complete information about where these cars are, and could take legal battles to confirm. But either way, there's like 4,000 people who own these cars who have not joined the FOA yet. And if you don't join, when something goes wrong, you will. And what'll happen? The membership fee will go up and up and up. And by the time you have a problem, which you will, it will be so expensive to find out how to solve it that you're probably just going to want to get rid of the car. More on that in a second. The point is, you've had your chances to get out. If you follow this channel, you knew better. This is a special club for people with a special level of tolerance, a special level of interest in the Fisker Ocean, and a special amount of time to research, dig, read information, and find out what's actually going on a daily basis. It's a money pit, it's a time sucker, and there's a ton of hubbub in between. Kind of the perfect car club, actually. Let's say you've got 2.0 and it works. Well, you'll never have phone as key if you don't join. You're good checking the API stuff to see what's going on. That all wipes away January 1st. If you don't join, you wish the FOA was better at getting you scheduled and getting service and just providing information about that. Well, that marketplace will launch in Q2, and it'll be better if you join. The bottom line is, repairs will be super expensive with that reconnection fee, and you'll have to pay a pro no matter what. That is, if you don't join. The cloud is gone, the connectivity is gone, the community is gone, and you're on your own. And if you think members will have sympathy for you, knowing you had an opportunity to help yourself and the community, they won't. There'll be no sympathy. You're effing around, for lack of a better term. 2024 has really been the year of effing around, and you're about to find out. Finally, what if the FOA doesn't make sense for you financially, ethically, whatever other reason? That's cool. I'm not going to argue with you. But if that's true, get rid of that thing yesterday. Because a non-connected car, you think these cars are going for a low price now when you trade them? Wait till they're not connected. It'll be impossible to sell. Imagine going to the dealer and they ask if there's anything wrong with it, and you've got what? An ICC loop going, the screen is black, and then it's Fisker, and then it's black, and you say that there's a fix, because there's about to be, that the FOA had, but you didn't join, so you didn't get it. How's that going to affect your trade-in value? Or, let's say you pull into the dealership to trade in your Ocean behind the flatbed that it's on. The Ocean, when it's working, is cool and it drives great, but it's a computer on wheels. And if your seat sensor is bad and you don't know it, you're not driving that thing anywhere. It'll be a flatbed at the CarMax for $8,000. If you hurry, and by hurry, I mean like literally the date stamped on this video, you can still get in and get a whole year for $50 off. I'm not saying you should, but there's an opportunity there. But regardless of how you join, do it. For your own good. Don't F around, because you're about to find out. There are a lot of things about these cars that are not being handled optimally, but the people that are working with them and on them at every level are obsessed with getting it right and getting it done. And more of the obsessed S and A tier people in the Fisker community, the real time spenders, are just biting the bullet and volunteering. Fisker owners bucked the system by putting down a deposit. They're one sandwich short of a picnic by actually taking delivery, me included. And I would definitely agree with an owner that keeping it when you found out about the going concern was a great idea, but then we'd both be wrong. Regardless, here you are. You either bought one cheap because, I don't know, you want to be part of this club probably, but you did. Or you're stuck. Or, finally, like other things in your life, you like to deal with a little gambling here and there, and your chips are down, you're riding it till the end. Here's a fun one. Let's say you don't join the FOA and then lose your key. That's a flatbed, because you're not going to a meetup, and they're not reconnecting a car you can't get into. It's just one of the 100 reasons to join the FOA if you've decided to stay in with this car. Whether you got in early, you got in late, you're out $70K, or you just got one for 15. Put down the money, join the club. Help everyone else who owns these. At some point, if you've had this from the beginning, you probably thought about bailing on this car. And if you got in just now, or very recently, or even when they cut the prices in half, at some point you assessed the fact that you might be gambling a little bit here. Don't bail on the group and the people that gave you the opportunity to have those thoughts, because without them, you'd all be out cars right now. How many of these would still be running if there was no FOA? There are very few situations that I could conceive at all where I end up with another Fisker Ocean. But I want the owners to have a good experience. Even if they insult me, call me clickbait, specifically identify the exact type of male pattern baldness I may be suffering from, or tell me that if I don't tell the truth about this car, then they'll whatever. For every one of those, there are 15 people who are small business owners, real world leaders, thought-provoking people, all of which have bright minds, who just happened to take a gamble on a car and lost. And you're trying to make the best of it, which could end up being an okay situation. We can definitely admit that at this point. Throw the FOA a bone, will ya? That's all for now. Merry Christmas and all of these, and if I missed any, let me know down in the comments. Join Patreon or become a YouTube member for early access to videos. And I got another car. Subscribe so you find out what it is. We'll see ya on the next one.
Hey! Smash the like button!
Thank you.